Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another stream here on the Aviator 268 channel. We're off to a little late start. We apologize, had some technical difficulties trying to get the stream up and running, but we are here, and we are about to get started. If it's your first time here, welcome to the stream. If it is your returning, we are grateful that you here. We have been off for quite a while. Life has been lifing, but here we are here at the moment, and we want to make sure that we get things started off here on the channel. So let's jump right into the simulator as we are preparing for a flight in the new 777-200Er. It is on stand here in Paris Charles de Gaulle, where we are featuring the Foxtrot Golf Sierra Papa Echo. And right now it is nighttime over in Paris, but we are gonna use the current flight time. It is 11 something right now. It is 11:39 over in Paris, but we're gonna call it 11:39 a.m. So we're gonna do a day flight. That way we can see what's going on. It is a little cloudy, little foggy over here, but that is all right. We will be doing our best here as we do this flight. Welcome. If you are in the chat, feel free to say hello, and we can get some shout outs going. Welcome to our viewers as we get ready. The aircraft is already fueled, so we're gonna jump right into it, get into the flight deck, and get ourselves sorted out. In the overhead panel, we have everything set. The ADRUs are on, and the emergency light switches are on. Nav switches and all the other buttons are where they should be. So we are set to go. In the EFB, we already have our sim brief information. We are Air France 1140. And we know our aircraft registration. It is Golf Sierra Papa Echo, and the aircraft type is 777-200. Our zero fuel weight today, which should be in kilograms and not pounds. Let's see if I can get that changed. Stand by 1 second, guys. Just one. Let's get this set up real quick. Set that. Nope. So yeah, so our zero fuel weight now in kilograms is 170.6, and our route distance is 254, costing us of 80. And as we see here, this is our route pretty much from Charles de Gaulle, traveling northeastbound up to Amsterdam, Schiphol, and we will talk a little bit more about that. And when we come up to the flight management computer, FMC, we are gonna get our route set in. And as a matter of fact, let's do the, it's already set up. I was gonna call the oops. I'll wait for it to get set up, and then I'll go back into that and request the weights. Or actually, I should be able to do it from here. This fuel weights import. Yep, there it is. So we're good. That should be done. Great. Right, so let's load the routes, and based on the within the Pmdg, I can actually do this from here. There we go. So from our flight management computer, this is our dispatch. So we are using the route from normal to the Uniform November 874, Beacon Uniform November 873, Aduto November 873 to 30, Yankee 118, Yankee 18, then Dinner 3 Alpha into Amsterdam. So we can check for that. So let's go into our departure arrival, and we're departing today off of runway 26 right. It'd probably be best to go from 27 left, but I'll tell you why I'm not doing that. It's just easy to go from 26 left, and we'll show you what it would look like if you were to do 27 left. All right, so let's run now with the 6 Delta. Actually, no, 6 Bravo. Based on the departure. And arrival into Amsterdam is the ILS 1 in right via the River 1 Delta, and we are the Dinner 3 Alpha. Let's check the legs where that is concerned. Everything looks good. There's no discontinuity. We can click activate and execute. And then I must have touched something a while ago. So let's switch that back. There we go. So let's go into the plan mode and let's step through the flight plan to make sure that we don't have any issues. And we are looking good, similar to what we have on our flight plan here. We can see that our flight is pretty much using the same route that's on our navigational display, so we are good to go. Great. So we have that already set up. We can go ahead and start GSX and let that start boarding.
Boarding requested.
GSX would have said that they had the flight. FS Dream Team would have said that the GSX profile should be in correctly. So we should see this move just now in the event that it is fixed, and we will see the aircraft start to put in the numbers for, there we go. So we see it here, and that's good. So we let that do its thing, and we see that we have GSX on the outside getting ready to board. All right, great. So our wind data is already uplinked. We can clear all of that out, and we go back to route, perf data, and we can accept. Let's reject and then request it again, and then we'll do our departure briefing. Let's accept that, and our cruise altitude today is 240. All right, so let's do our departure briefing today. Our flight details, our flight time is approximately 48 minutes based on our flight plan, and we're cruising to the altitude of flight level 240, and we have 286 passengers on board with us with a total fuel of 11.6 tons. The aircraft right now is a beautiful 772. It is quote unquote brand new for us here on the channel, so we don't have any mechanical issues that we need to talk about. Brand spanking new 777-200Er, so that is ready and set. Today we're going to be using the runway 26 left versus the 27s, and this is why. So we're parked over here at Echo 24, and to taxi from Echo 24 to the runway 27 left, we'll have to push back and taxi all the way here. Yeah, we're not doing that today. We want to make it nice and sweet, so we're going to push back and go Tango Echo 2 left onto Romeo to Tango 1 2, so we make our departure. Departure today is going to be the normal 6 Bravo, and that will take us straight ahead off of the departure and the runway to Papa Golf 264. Papa Golf 265, we make a right turn on heading 023 via the 6 Bravo up to normal, then flight plan routes. We don't have any immediate threats right now in terms of weather or elevation, so we are good with that. And we'll do the emergency briefings just now as we run through the departure co-pilot. All right, so let's run through that real quick. Once we set up this information, so let's go back to our weight and balance. And we have for our zero fuel weight 170.7, 170.7. We put that in our zero fuel weight, and our takeoff weight is 182.3, and that is correct. Then we can go to our performance tool, and we will depart off of runway 26 right. We will import from the aircraft, so we have 182.2, which is correct. We leave optimum on both the rating and the flap config. Import the weather, and our weather is 220 at 10, temperature is 19, and altimeter is 1010. And let's run our calculations. Departing with flap 5, and we'll do takeoff 2 with 41 degrees. That will give us V1 of 127, VR 131, and V2 of 134. So takeoff 2, 41, and that gives us 92.5, 92.8, close enough. Flaps 5, and the CG is 28.8, 28.8. Gives us a trim of 3.25, and we have 27, 31, 37. That checks out, so we are good to go with that. Cool. All right, so for our departure briefing with our co-pilot today, we're going to be runway 26 left, correction 26 right, and we're doing the normal 6 Bravo. And our V speeds today, 127, 131, and 137. Transition altitude is, I believe, 5,000, or is it 6,000? We can double check that on the chart. Transition is 5,000. So there we have it there. So transition is 5,000. Once you get transition, we will set to standard. Weather today, the current weather conditions in Charles de Gaulle is winds 220 at 10, cab okay, and temperature 19, and the altimeter is 101 set, and that is also set. In the event of an emergency, we have today our departure runway of 13,000 feet. So we have plenty of runway should we need to stop. So our contingencies will be at an engine failure at or above at or below V1. We will yell stop, close the thrust, and bring the aircraft to a complete stop. We will assess the situation, and then we will return to the if needs be. If not, we will come around and try for a second attempt. At above V1, we will continue the climb and climb to 3,000 feet. Assess the situation, then we will make a decision if we will come back. We're below our max landing weight, so we can come and land on runway 26 left. And I believe we have that, or 27 right. So once we take off, we make the right turn, we come back around and on 27 right, since that will be the closest runway from there. So we have that already set in here for the ILS runway 27 right, should we need it. And we will make sure that we make our departure. We'll be flying online today. We will set on there just now, and we have 1 to 2.8. Don't think we have any ATC at this time, but we'll double check when we get out. All right, so that is good to go. Our departure briefing is complete. Let us go ahead and log on the vaccine network. And not that we have anybody online. Once that comes up, go to our legs page and we will check for our wins to upload. And so run root data, load the wins. Currently we have 7.4 as our arrival. It's now 7.8 with the wins in, and we can go to our descent page and load that, and that will give us our accurate fuel for our arrival. So 7.6 is what we should arrive in Amsterdam. All right, so we are still boarding. Let's check and see if our passengers are in and seated. And I do not know why it is that this is happening, guys. I would have already checked this out, went into the GSX and made the arrangement for the aircraft. But seated passengers are now pink. Yeah, I don't know why. Hopefully that will be fixed the next time I run it. I've run GSX a couple of times, so I don't know why that is still so. But it is what it is. Nevertheless, we press on. It doesn't look nice, especially when you're looking through the window and you see the passengers being pink. It is what it is. That's not the most important part of the flight. So we're good to go. Oh wow, look at that. So GSX is closing the doors, which is great. That means that it is working, so that is a good thing. And while I'm doing that, let me get my ACAR started. Don't want to be in trouble with the airline. So we will start our ACARs. That is set. That is good to go. Okay, so it's not working like it's supposed to because they're reopening. All right, so that's GSX for you guys. Once it is completely done, then we should be fine. Let's see if the front door is open. No, it's not. Okay, so that's fine so far. And we have our passengers boarding. All right, back in the flight deck. Let us go upstairs now and turn on the APU. Get our seatbelt signs on since we have passengers on board. And we can tidy up the rest of the things. Set the parking brake. Parking brake is set. And we can run the B4, the pre-flight checklist. Oxygen is tested 100%. Flight instrument is checked. It's heading 353 and 10,000. We need to change that to 10,000. Flight number 100. And altimeter is 1010 set twice. 3 times. And that is checked. So pre-flight checklist is complete. All right, so our V2 speed is 137. Pretty short takeoff, so it will be nice and sweet as we are very light. Welcome everybody, welcome. If it's your first time in the channel, feel free to say hello on the stream. It is good to know that you are here. Definitely give you a shout out. Thank you so much for joining the stream so far. I know it has been a minute, but we are back. Hopefully we'll be able to get through with a couple of streams before I go on vacation. Looking good. Set traffic, that is set, and we are good to go. Let's see how many passengers are left to board. We have, gotta wait for it. The new GSX comes up every 10 passengers, so we gotta wait just a little bit before that shows up again so we can see it. All right, 130 from 286, so we still have a few to go. In the meantime, guys, how are you guys doing? Talk to me. Let me know how you guys doing in the chat. Feel free to type exclamation point Root, if you want to fly with me today, you can type exclamation point root in there. If you want to join the Discord, feel free to join the Discord as well. There we can send photos from our different flights. You'll also get the information as to when we go live again. So feel free to join the Discord so that you never miss the next time we go live. If you haven't already done so, click subscribe if you like the content. Of course, you can also subscribe and click notification bell so you would never miss as well the next time we go. We have a couple flights here on the ground. We're on the ground here in Paris. On the ground, right here. Pretty short flight, as I said, 48 minutes flight time. So once we're up, we're down. So we are good to go. Get our hats on and we can release the air conditioning unit. We should not have both of them running once. We shouldn't have the packs connected once the APU is running. We should have the low pressure air running. We close that. You can hear them in the background saying salut since we're in France. Bonjour tout le monde. Bienvenue. I really just don't understand why it is that I can't get these things to work. I would have run the installer several times and I could have sworn it would have been working by now, but it's not. We just have to see how that works. Probably send a message in the Discord for the GSX guys to look into that because I'm not sure why we have that issue. Give me just a moment, guys. I'm gonna stop here for just a moment. Grab something real quick. And we're back, 190 of 286. So we're getting there, fellas. We're getting there. We're getting there. Look at this shiny new airplane. I literally prefer. Okay, so I have a couple of friends who would tell you that the 300ER is what they prefer. Honestly, I prefer the shorter version of the airplane. So this is the 200ER version. This is the latest 777 that would have been released from Pmdg. Please ignore the whole pink textures that you see right here. Yeah, that's just GSX. We'll try to see if we can fix it at some point. But the 200 version of the aircraft is my preferred airplane. The 300 is all right. I mean, I've flown it several times on the, I've flown a couple times on the stream. So you've seen it. And of course you can make the comparison. The 777-300 is longer, can go farther, but I just prefer the shorter stubby look. Similarly with the 757, I prefer the 200 version versus the 300. The 767, now the 200 version was my favorite for a very long time. And then when you have the 200, 300, and the 400 and 767, I preferred the 300. 300 is what you see flying around most times. You have American and not American. You have Delta and United are the two that I know of. I think those are the only two carriers that use the 767-400 variant. That's not even available to us in terms of payware, or should I say high fidelity payware, because I think Captain Sim has the 400 for the 767, but of course that's not the greatest 767 that's out there. We have Blue Bird Simulation is coming out with their 767 probably next year sometime. Once the 757 comes on stream, hopefully by the end of summer, then you'll see the 767 roll into the sim. So we're waiting for that. That will be an excellent thing. The 757 767 are the workhorses, especially for two of the airlines that I fly very much. I like the Delta and American. American doesn't fly the 767 or the 757 anymore. They would have retired those as a result of COVID. However, it's the same where we can fly whatever we want. So once those become available, we would definitely get those flying to do some retro flights with the 767, going to those destinations that would have served the airlines. Delta still carries the 767. They carry the 757 as well. They should still be around for us until at least the next 2 or 3 years. So those are being slowly phased out with the A321 Neos that are now coming on stream. So we will see those phase out eventually because they are pretty old airplanes, but we still like to see them in the set. Always nice to fly 767 and the 757. All right, so we have 286 and we have 220 passengers on board. So we are getting close to our departure time. And the music just stopped. Hey, what's going on, Aaron? Welcome to the stream, my boy. It is good to see you. Hope you're enjoying the stream. If you haven't already done so, boy, like and subscribe. Appreciate it. It will help the channel quite a bit. $240 of 86, so we have just about 46 more passengers to go. While we're waiting on that, we can remove the primary source that we have here and release the ground power. So once we're ready to push, we can just do so. All right, let's double check to make sure we have everything. On the left side, we'll have the takeoff reference, and on the right side, we will have yo, what's going on, Brandon? Long time channel supporter. Appreciate you, my brother. Good to see you on the stream. So we'll have on the left side the takeoff reference, and on the right side we have the flight plan on the pilot not flying. Everything is set in the upstairs, so we're good. 250 of 286, so we're getting there. These people are moving pretty slowly. I guess they don't want us to leave on time, but we'll be off. Nice. Let's do a radio check real quick and see if we can hear everybody on the frequency. Charles Go Traffic radio check, 1140 radio check. you see time? I don't think so. I don't think see time. Radio check, radio check.
Ça va, sérieux.
Alright, thank you so much. Merci beaucoup.
Hello?
So our radios are good. We're just waiting for the passengers to get on board. Once we do that, we will be good to go. We will run the before start checklist and we will taxi. So just to recap what our taxi route looks like, we will depart the gates. $60 more passengers to go. Sometimes this thing just takes forever in a day to come on street. All right, cool. Thank you. Appreciate you. Here we go. All right, come on. So we push out the gate, do tail to the right, and we will taxi onto tier Tango Echo 2, make a left onto Romeo. I guess we can also do this, so I can show you this. So push out the gate, and we will take Tango Echo 2, then Romeo down towards Tango 12, and we land upon the 26 right. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And that ding means that we have everyone on board. Great. All right, so let's get ourselves ready. So the doors are being closed. Good. So they are done. That's wonderful. Let's run our checklist. So we have flight deck door is still open. So we're going to close the flight door. There, let's do flight controls and overhead panel. Set that up for departure. Wait for default light extinguishment like that. Then we do 2, 1, left, center. And let's put on the beacon. And we will set our civilization to 3.25. Set. And we can run the rest of the checklist. But the door is closed and locked. Passenger signs are on. MCP V2 is 137, heading 263, and altitude is 10,000. B speeds 127, 131, 137. Checked. TDU preflight is completed. Trim is 3.25 units, 0 and 0. Taxi and takeoff briefing is completed, and the before start checklist is complete. I'm going to leave the door open just to see what happens with GSX when I call for the push and start. So we're going to call for push and start here. And let's see if the door is going to be closed. Nope, it's asking for, let's see if it closes it. It should. Okay, so no. So let's close all. And we will arm all the doors. I'm hoping that that is fixed at some point. All right, so let's get ourselves ready to go. We need to remove the chalk. Everything is set and we're good to go. Charles de Gaulle traffic, Air France 1140. Heavy pushing start from Echo 24. We'll taxi to runway 26 right for departure. All right, parking brakes is released and we'll start timing.
All engines clear. Start at will.
All right, so let's pause the music. And we're going to listen for the startup procedure. So we start engine number 2, then engine number 1. The GEs are the ones that should be started independent. The Rolls-Royce and the Pratt & Whitneys, they can start together, but they, from what I've been hearing, you start the 2 of them independently. So we start engine number 2. And we'll have the auto start on here. And let's listen for the engine startup. We do that engine startup from the inside, and the next one we'll do it from the outside. Start a cutout. So let's do engine number 1, and we will throw the switch. Got all those pink textures. Hey, what's going on, Carib Flight? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Pretty quiet airplane. All right, parking brake is set and waiting for starter cutout. Starter switch cutout. Take a little picture right here. And let's run the after takeoff check. The after start checklist. We haven't even take off yet. Oh, okay. Run the checklist. Anti-ice not required. Recall is checked. We'll do the flight controls check once the tug is disconnected. And they would do their check.
The truck disconnected. Bypass Farmland. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Merci beaucoup. Au revoir. Right, flight controls. Fully left. Fully right. Neutral. Up. Rudder left and rudder right. For those who want to see what's happening on the outside, rudder left, rudder right, neutral, left side, left side. Oh, 1 second, guys. totally forgot to change the flap setting for the 777. So let's go flap 5. And we can see our flaps there moving. All right, so we have flight control check, ground equipment is clear, and the checklist is complete. Our squawk code is 3714. That's set, and we can go to PAR. Good. Taxi light on, run and turn off light is on, and let's do our taxi. Charles de Gaulle traffic, Air France 1140 heavy, taxi runway 26 right via Tango Echo 2 and Romeo to Tango 12 for departure. Charles de Gaulle traffic. Parking brake is released, and let's go. And we are off. Unlike the 777-300, we don't have to do too much oversteering. With a light aircraft, we're going to be speeding up pretty quickly. Brake check. And let's make a left here. Somewhat overshoot. Still a big airplane, but we don't have to oversteer like we do with the 300. And we'll make a left here onto Romeo. Do our taxi checklist, and our takeoff checklist is complete. Our taxi, let's review our departure for today. We are using the normal 6 Bravo. Take off straight ahead, and we'll fly after Papa Golf 265, make a right to 023, direct to normal, up to flight level 240. Cabin is ready, so that's good. So for our departure, at or below 80 knots, we will stop for any warning on the Eham, or the ICAS rather, not an Airbus. And anything that will make the aircraft unflammable, at or below V1, we will stop only for engine fire or any master warning. Above V1, we will consider takeoff. 3,000 feet, and then we will make a decision once we're airborne as to what we will do. Weather is not a threat, so we don't have an issue where that is concerned. Once we take off, we should be fine to continue to fly as we already have runway 27 right prepped in terms of the ILS information. So if we need to come back, we'll below our landing weight, so we will be able to land on 27 right without a problem. Longest runway is going to be 26 right. However, we can land on 27 right because right. So before takeoff checklist is complete, we make a right here onto Tango 11 currently. This is Tango, Romeo Tango 14 here. So we make right, and Tango 1, 2 should be right here. Or we can take Tango 11, whichever one. This elevation changes here. That is so crazy. Alright. Our strobe lights coming on. How's it go? Traffic. Air France 1140. Line up runway 26 right. Probe is on. Wing light is on. Let's line up on the runway. If you're ready, say let's go. You look if you see the wing bouncing. I love how Pmdg would have created this airplane. It's really, really nice. Really, really nice. We're lined up on the runway. Everything is set. We are good to go. We already have our takeoff checklist. It's already completed. Landing lights coming on, wing lights coming on. Transigo traffic, Air France 1140, takeoff runway 26 right via the normal 6 Bravo departure. Transigo traffic. Alright, pressure on the stick. And we go up to about 40%. Stabilize, toga. First set at 92.5. Airspeed is alive. 80 knots on the hold. Reduce pressure off the stick. Maintain centerline.
V1.
Rotate. Smoothly pull back on the stick. Positive rate of climb. Gear coming up. Craft looking nice on the outside. KJVR has subbed in. Thanks so much for the sub, my brother. Welcome, 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 welcome. Appreciate it. There we can have autopilot in, and we will clear the aircraft. Flaps 1, speed check. Transigo traffic, Air France 1140 is cleared, passing 3,000. A climb followed by 240 joining departure. Speed check, flaps up. Flaps going up. We are airborne. Change file level 240. And let's run the after takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist is complete. So for those of you who you don't see me calling, so within the 777, the electronic checklist, once you have the checks already there, the aircraft senses that these things are already done. Passing 5,000 feet. It is now standard set. So we're now passing flight level 60. Yeah, so with the electronic flight bag, we have the green checks that are already, the aircraft already senses these things, the gears up, the flaps are up. So we don't have to actually call it out. Once we see it, we just say, so we call for the after takeoff checklist. Once we put it up and we see that everything is checked, we just say after takeoff checklist is complete, and we clear that out. And we are heading up to Amsterdam in our Boeing 777-200ER for the win. And these engines are the GE 777-200ER, comes in 3 variants. Today we're using the 777-200ER for the General Electric for Air France. Probably some other time in the future we could do a British Airways, which would then give us the Rolls-Royce. And we can hear the difference. Ooh, I forgot to start the timer on the right, on the left side, that's fine. And we will make our right turn. I believe we can go direct to normal right now, so we could do that. So we'll do legs page and fly direct to normal. And we'll continue our climb to flight level 240. Passing 10,000 feet, landing lights can come off. Runway turn off lights and the taxi light can come off, also the wing light. And we are good to go. Since we already passed our transition altitude, we can get the music going and we'll enjoy our climb to flight level 240. I am currently running the Bravo currently running the Honeycomb Bravo throttle quadrant, so you would see me turning the heading and so on without actually using the mouse. So that's actually a good addition to it as well. So don't be like graphics are crazy. Yeah, Aaron, it's really nice, boy. You can, and the thing is, this is 2020. Apparently 2024 is a little bit better in terms of graphics, but we won't be going to 2024 just yet, simply because there's still some teething issues, and I am not interested in having to deal with all of those fixes right now. So probably by the end of summer or by the end of the year, we'll make the move over to the 2024 platform. As of right now, we're waiting for the 757 to drop, and that is going to be for 2020 initially. And so once we get that, we'll definitely be throwing up this group as well. So look out for those to come in the future. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll do my very best to let you know what I know in terms of the end out. So like I said, 777-200ER comes with 3 variants: the GE General Electric, Pratt & Whitney PW, and the Rolls-Royce RR. The Air France variants only uses the General Electric, so that is what we are flying right now, and you can see that on the engines. You see the engine wobble right there. That's another thing that I like about Pmdg. So this aircraft has quite a few things. I don't remember, I think it was there in the P3D version, but it wasn't as pronounced as it is right now. And of course you have the wing flex that you see happening here. It's probably best seen on the inside, where you see the wing flex at the end right here. That is a nice touch. It's always really nice. It looks more lifelike that way. So I appreciate Pmdg for the work that they would have done. The aircraft looks pretty nice. It's pretty, I guess whoever is doing the creator, so the creator for this, I think it was Hughes, they would have created this aircraft. And you see some dirt right here by the door, so that's a nice touch. It shows that the aircraft has some wear and tear on it. So that's for the Chaumont Solo. That is the name of this airplane. Get a head-on shot of the airplane. Have somebody flying above us here. see in that street. That's them right over here. That's the airplane there. I remember in real life I would have flown up to Canada, and I don't have a picture of it. I was not looking out the window at the time, and the aircraft passed literally 1,000 feet below us, and that was interesting to see. It looks pretty close when you're there, but the 1,000-foot separation is just good enough for aircraft to do such. So that was nice to see. Flight level 240, and we're going to cheat the system real quick, and we're going to go to our VNav page, and we're at our econ speed of 0.67. Let's bump that up to 0.78. So we bump that up to 0.78, get us there a little bit faster. And because it's a short flight, let's look at the holistic view. So we're just about a third of the way there. So we're speeding it up to 0.78. So we'll have, our speed will probably be over 500 across the ground. So that's pretty good. And we can begin looking at our arrival, just so we have a fair idea of what that is. We'll be coming in via the D-Nut, and we have to cross that below flight level 240, and then we cross Yenzo, then we have the river, which is the initial postfix, and then we have, for the night transition, again, it is nighttime in the real world, so we use the night transition for the ILS runway 17 right, 18 right, and so from the river we're going to use the river 1 Delta transition to Parwa, then to Alpha Mike 627, to Netom, to Nursey, then make a right to Alpha November 60, Alpha Mike 607, right to Alpha 608, join the localizer for runway 18 right. So we'll do the proper briefing afterwards. Once we get done with that, then we'll join the 18 right, a localizer. So we're now zipping across the French plains at 0.78, and our speed is now 516. So we will get there. Let's look at our time. So we will land at 11:10. Current time is 10:38. So we'll get there pretty quickly. Our top of descent is going to be at 10:48. So in another 10 minutes or so, we'll begin our descent into Amsterdam. Pmdg B777-200Er is similar to that of the 300. So we've done this already on the stream with the 300 version, so it's not that different. Unfortunately, we can't get to choose what the different seating config will be. If that were something that would have been something nice, we could definitely do, but unfortunately we cannot. I think these curtains come down once we get airborne, so that happens automatically. And of course, because the doors are closed and we're on the within the cockpit, like within the cabin like this, we're not seeing any passengers. But On the outside, we see that. So this is business class cabin behind the 2L. And then this is the forward business class cabin. So sit right here and look back at the engines. Sometimes you can't contort yourself properly because of how it's set up, but at least having a window is better than sitting in the center here where you can't see it. Some persons have it where it's turned out. So for example, this area is on this side. So I think you might be a little bit closer to the window, but in this configuration, it's not. So you have to kind of put yourself in a position where, so for those persons who like to spot outside, you'd have to kind of see how best you can. So I guess from this one, it's a little bit easier here, but from behind here where the windows are a little bit further back, it's kind of harder to see outside. Man, I haven't switched over to 2024. No, JL, no, we're not going to 2024 yet, sir. But it's good to see you. We have not switched over to 2024 yet. We won't do that until the end of the year, probably. Like I said, I shared that earlier. Waiting for 2024 to get some more updates. It's just like 2020 when it first came out. That is not English. Do not tell anybody I'm a teacher. Yeah, it has. When 2020 first came out, it was the same sort of teething issues where so many updates were happening, so many things were not going right. As a matter of fact, with 2020, we couldn't get the 737 to in the system at the first point because there was an issue because of how Pmdg made their 737s or made their products. So they're working on those, and that's coming, I suppose. Robert Rendazzo would have actually put out something in the channels, in the forum, and also on his channel, where he talks about what the challenges are. The LR should be coming soon. The ER and the freighter versions should be going through the intake shortly. They had some error that they didn't catch early enough, and they're fixing it now. So the 777 Foxtrot and the 777W should be getting themselves sorted out. I think, no, let me make sure I'm saying it correctly. The 777W is ready. The ER and the Foxtrot version of the aircraft are being tested right now with the fix that they're supposed to be doing. So hopefully by Friday that's already done. They can send that through, and then we will see that. Yeah, they have a setback with the LR. The LR is, I don't think it's a setback with the LR, so to speak. The LR is being pushed back just because, or rather delayed, because of what's happening with the marketplace intake for 2024. So they've addressed the problem. They know what the problem is, and they're currently fixing the issue. So once they have that fixed with the ER and the F version of 777, then it's easy fix for the W, get that up and going, and then the LR should go into beta testing by, I want to say by mid next week, once everything goes well, because he wants to get it out the middle of June, which is in the next week. So I'm hoping that they get that sorted out as soon as possible so we can get the LR, because I know Delta, I don't know what's happening with the guys over there with the Delta version, the Delta paint. I would love to get some 777 Delta flights going, but I'm waiting on the guys from Hughes to paint that, but nobody seems to be painting that just yet. I'm wondering if they're waiting on the LR to come out before they do some paint. We'll see. Picking up the LR as well once that gets out so we can do some flights. Qatar does the LR version as well. Air Canada has the LR version as well, so we can definitely do that. So once they get those out, we can definitely, let's release the passengers. Had the seatbelt signs on there. All right, so our top of this set coming up in 38 nautical miles. So let's go ahead and run the approach briefing. So for our approach today, guys, we are gonna get our weather checked in. So current winds in Amsterdam is pencil. Wind is 210 at 1.1. Forgive me if I'm sounding a bit far from the computer. I'm trying to write it down. And visibility is 99, so it's pretty clear. Q cross at 4,500, and temperature is 16. Altimeter is 1007. So we're going to use runway 18 right for arrival, and we're using the ILS 18 right. So let's check on the chart real quick for the ILS 18 right information. And for 18 right, we have our MSA is 1800, and our MDA is going to be 200 or 187. And our frequency for our departure, I'm pausing because I'm writing this stuff down, guys. So for our ILS, it is 110.1. The course is 182, and the identifier is Victor Alpha Bravo. Does it still have 777 in real life? No, they don't. They got rid of those after COVID, and they were replaced by the A350s and 339s. So that was a kind of a loss. I like the 777. I really like the 777. So that's a loss with that. Victor Prop Bravo and 182. Let's do 15, and our final here is we get our glide slope at 6 nautical miles out. So we do 182. We had to switch out the altitude for a second. So our altitude now is down to 120. And let's check our star. We should cross. We should cross the river at 100. Let's do 100. Actually, let's do 5070. Invalid entry. 240 at 7,000. Okay. Should I delete it first? There we go. The 240 at 7,000 at river. Why is it invalid? Okay, fine. We'll keep it there. Not sure why I'm getting an invalid there. I should be able to move it. Let's go back to our econ speed. I'm confused as to why I'm not able to set this at 7,000. Okay, let's try 8,000. Invalid entry. Hold on. I think I know why. The transition coming in here, power, they have that at flight level 100. So maybe that's why I can't change it. Okay, let's change that. It's probably why these are probably why I can't change it, because I can't be below that with these being above that. Okay, let's leave it alone. Yeah, Aaron is a pretty nice plane. I liked it in real life, and I still like it in the sim. All right, Miss Marple, because of how fast we were going, There's my approach briefing time. All right. So we got our weather in, and the arrival procedure we already did that. Missed approach. So for our missed approach into, into Amsterdam, if we go miss, we can't see. So for our missed approach, we'll climb with a turn right turn of maximum of 220 as soon as practicable, but not below 500 to Alpha Mike 624, and do not overshoot Romeo 240 of the Schiphol VOR. Climb and cross 624 at 2000 at Alpha Mike 624 track 300. Inform ATC immediately, and then they'll bring it back around for us. So we take off, make a right, and we'll go to AM624, then 300, and then we'll come back around for a second time. Don't think we'll have to do that, but at least we have that information in. And I think the aircraft would have already drawn that. Yeah, so we have that already drawn. So we can see that here. If we do miss, we make the right to AM24, then heading 300, and we go out towards that. Cool. So that's already set. All right, so our landing configuration, we're gonna be landing 30. So let's run that real quick in performance. And we are landing runway 18 right. And we do 30, auto brakes 2. Matter of fact, we can do level 1 because of the length of runway. And we have all operational. Let's get our weather in. 20 at 10. We can add a little bit more than that. So plus 8. And let's calculate. So we're landing in 7,017 feet. If we look at the runway, landing on runway 18 right. This is 12,000 feet. So 7,000 feet down the runway should land us where we can get off at Victor 2, or we take Victor 3, whichever one. That will be fine. And then we'll taxi via Victor, cross at Whiskey 13, cross runway 18 center, then via Delta, left on Alpha, take Alpha, and we're coming into the Echo gates. So that will be our arrival for our taxi once we get there. No immediate threats at the time. The weather is looking pretty good. There's no threats that we can see right now. No antennas. Let's double check the approach field. The approach path, pretty clear. Our MSA is 1800 anyways, so we're good to go. The antenna is going to be on the left side of the approach path, so we're good to go. So no threats. And that is it. So our approach briefing is completed. Let's get the star available here so we can see that we're coming down to Yenzo. Then we make the right towards River, and we're descending to, let's change that to 7,000. So we'll continue our descent down to 7,000. And we'll do it level 1, and we'll do 1007 on the altimeter. That is set. And for our power reference, that is going to be 187. So let's set that. Ooh, come on now. Way too fast. Trying to set our barrel reference here at 187, and that is set. Good. That's set and check. So our approach speed is 137. So let's put that in the system. 137, and that is now set. Let's ping the cabin. And let's do our approach checklist. So you see here how it's empty. We have to now check it. So recall is checked. Notes have been checked. Auto brake is level 1. That's selected. Landing data VREF is 137. Minimums is 187, and that is checked. Approach briefing is completed, and the descent checklist is complete. The approach briefing is not ready because we have not gone below our we're not gone below the transition altitude as yet. I believe the transition over here is 6,000. So we just wait for that to pop up. Amsterdam Schiphol traffic, Air France 1140-1140, descending to flight level 106 for flight level 70, expecting the ILS runway 18 right, descending via the D03 Alpha, River 1 Delta transition, runway 18 right, Amsterdam traffic. Right, so we're at River now, so we'll transition to the night ILS. Below 10,000 feet, landing lights coming on, and wing lights coming on. So we're level at 10,000, and we're to cross Netum at 7,000. So let's set that as a hard altitude there. So we cross that at 7,000. Yeah, so I believe what happened, guys, is that because you had these restrictions set here, I wasn't able to do that. That's why it was telling me that I had that problem. Max altitude is 250. I think I want to do 210 at Netum. Cabin is ready. So right now we are 29 miles from our airport. So we should begin our descent shortly. As a matter of fact, I'm going to continue our descent right now. So level change. Go to 230. Don't want to be too high. Let's get some speed brakes out and begin slowing this baby down. NITC should be at 5,500, so we should be good. Let's see what. Our transition out is 3,000. Alright, cool, no problem. Maybe one aircraft carrier to our right. I think that's probably the person who was trying to talk to us just now, or talk to Unicom just now. The weather just changed on us. Let's see if the wind would have changed. So 220 at 10, 1006. So for those who may not be aware, I would have put this green radius or green ring around the airport. So this is from my Airbus flying. What it is, it gives me an idea as to how far I am. So this first green radius is, or green ring is 50 nautical miles out, and then the second one is 7 nautical miles. Based on the ILS chart, we should get the glide slope at 6.2 from the Victor Papa Bravo identifier, which is the ILS identifier. So at 6 nautical miles, we should be on the glide, 6.2, we should be on the glide path. So I want to be fully configured at 7 miles out. So I will come to 180 knots once I make the right turn from near sea. So when I make this right turn here and come around to join the localizer, I should be at 180 knots, and then I'll slow down to be fully configured just at the 7 mile radius, so that we'll be fully configured for landing on 11718 right. We may have to extend our runway because of an aircraft that's going to be flying. Here, let me hit 906 radar check.
505.
Alright, I see you coming in on 18 right, correct? Roger, we'll extend our downwind. Could you call 10 miles out?
Are you going to 110 or 1 right?
You're going to 18 right. You're going to 18 center?
Yeah, so there shouldn't be no problem.
Roger, we're going to 18 right. So we just coming behind. Thank you.
Real to that.
Let me see if I can see him on the radar. Yep. So let's descend now to. Hey, what's up, Travis? Thank you so very much. Descend 5,500 and we can slow down to 210. Him on my radar is yet on my TCAS, but I know he's out there somewhere. If you can see him. Rain.
Traffic element 96, signal final 1 center.
Oh, he's going to 1 center. Right. Cool. So let's go ahead and descend down to 3,000. And we slow to 200. Get some speed brakes out. Speed check, lap, 1. And that's the airport there. Go to 190. .15 miles to go. So let's pause the music. We can concentrate on flying the airplane. The localizer. Tops 5, speed check. So localizer is available. Live soup is also available. Standard is set. 1006 is plate. Go to 180. And the approach checklist, altimeter is 1006 set. Approach checklist is complete. Descend down to 3,000. Gear down. You see those windmills? Ooh, look at that turn. Localizer captured, and we can on the approach, and we will laps 15, speed check. Final approach speed. Live scope captured. 20. Skip traffic. Air friends. 1140. 9-mile final. Runway 18 right. Fully established on the ILS 18 right. Flaps full. Take a nice picture of the aircraft on final. Final approach indeed. Let's do our landing checklist. Landing checklist is complete. Let's go. Let's see if we can butter this landing. Chat. First flight back on the stream. Let's see what happens with our landing. Gotta make this count. Gotta make this count. And this is our 7 mark, and we're fully configured, so we are good to go. Skip traffic, airfront 1140, for my final runway, 18 run. Check. Hi, airplane.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Continue.
$100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Touchdown. Woo! Minus 145. Speed breaks up. 2 in reverse. Butter. Reverse is normal. Manual braking. Let's exit on the left here, and this is should be Victor 2. Yep. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Butter indeed. That's what we call Tesla. First time back, and we're doing great. That's what we're talking about. Yes, sir. clean up the airplane. Start the APU. Amsterdam traffic, Air France 1140 is cleared of runway 18 right via Victor, taxi Victor cross 18 left via Whiskey 13. Taxi to the ramp, Echo 14. Correction, Echo 17. Was a nice butter landing indeed. Minus 145. We'll take it. We'll definitely take it. One of the things I don't like about Amsterdam's airport is this long taxi that you have to do with the airport. It's crazy. We taxi over to Echo 17, which is a heavy gate. Echo 17. We'll use Avia Park. Clear on the left. It's always nice when you're driving or you're running on an airplane and you cross over a bridge where cars are passing under. Always nice to see. It happens in Atlanta, happens in New York, a couple other places as well where you're taxiing on the airplane and you're passing over. The runway is actually a bridge for cars to go under. I guess persons who are very interested in airplanes have to be careful we don't do crashes when we're taxiing or when we're driving and seeing those planes passing over. Continue on Victor, there we go, Whiskey 13, then join right on Delta. What are you guys doing? Get off the taxiway, man. Airport authority just checking to make sure that there's no FOD. That worked. Oh, that's the road. Come on here and then turn there. Cool, cool. We taxi straight ahead and then we make the flight left onto Whiskey 13, which is this one versus this sharp left. Clear the left and clear the right. Amsterdam traffic, Air France 1140 crossing runway 18 center via Whiskey 13. onto Delta, so we can now turn on exterior light. Right here on Delta. Make Delta and the left on Alpha. Not this next left, but the following left. This is Bravo and turn left Alpha. This is pair G, and we have F coming up after that. Then we'll turn right onto what, Echo. It's actually on this side of the pier, so we make a right and then turn left towards that gate. So this is now Foxtrot here, and then Echo is over here, so our gate should be right here. Echo 17, so we'll make a right here. And come around this little cul-de-sac and then go into our Parking brake is set. APU is running. Parking brake set. We can turn off the fuel. 1 hour, 11 minutes. Seatbelt signs can come on. And we can turn off the beacon can come off. After landing checklist, parking brake is set, weather is off, and shuttle checklist is complete. Let's set the chocks, and we'll see how GSX behaves as we ask for deboarding.
Boarding requested.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the airport in one piece. It was the first flight of us doing a stream here on the channel after a very long time, and it wasn't a bad flight at all. The landing was pretty butter, and I want to say thank you so very much for all of you who would have joined me here this evening for this flight. Hopefully we can get another flight this week. We will do our best to do so. It is getting a little easier in terms of our life with work, so we should be able to get some flights in very soon. So thank you so very much again for joining the flight this evening. If you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe if you really enjoy the content, so that you don't miss the next time that we go live. If you also would like, you can join the Discord. Discord link is also available here, so that you can know the next time we send out any information, or whether it's the pictures from our different flights, or you want to join in one of the flights. You can also talk with me and other flight simmers on the channel as well, just to help to grow the community. I learn from you, you learn from me, so it's just a matter of us doing what we love. I appreciate you guys for sticking around and supporting the channel as it is thus far. We'll do our very best to keep it going and keep you entertained. Until the very next time, guys, please do be safe and be careful. Until the next time, see ya.